Now I'm
All
ready.
right. Second time, Steve. Second time talking with a
Take
dad.
2.
Episode 4. Not gonna Steve the sponsors. Just do it. Do it again. It was amazing.
I can't re-emulate that, but
That's
I
a
can
good
tell you
point.
this much. I can tell you this much. PlayStation is going to regret sending us those consoles. That's for sure.
Tune in next week for when we blow up PlayStations. I got mine right here.
No one calls it PlayStation anymore, do they? It's like PS.
PS4. That's
PS4.
What, yeah, that's what I call it. That's what I've always called it.
The nomenclature amongst people I usually kick is the PFO.
I've only ever heard that one place, so I think it's wrong. So I think it's really wrong, but that's okay. That's okay.
Man, I'm telling you, man, that I have dreams of an i9. I can't stop thinking about it. But let's get back into our topics right now.
So let's quickly go through it again. We had just broken down the Halo tournament that we had watched. I thought the commentating was really good. They explained things in the game that is something that I would never, as a spectator, would ever be able to know because I've never played the game. You thought it was boring, right?
I didn't. I should revise that. It wasn't boring. Again, you know, I got to stop basing everything off that optic versus
no, FaZe versus C9 CS game.
Yeah.
I started you at a high point and brought you really far down because I wanted to see how you would react based on it, and everything has just been in the shadow of that original CS game.
So here's what I will say about watching this and all those other ones, but especially this one, since we're talking about it, is that esports have a right they have a seat at the table, and they have a right to have a seat at the table, right? I would not refer to any esport person as an athlete while they're in that context, but I would refer to them as professionals because obviously it's a step above than just your casual playing. The announcing was good, production was good. Also, you got to remember I'm 38 years old, so I remember Halo LAN parties, which I was never a part of, but to see it go from that, like 800 people sitting around with Ethernet cords everywhere, you know, syncing every, to that is absolutely amazing, and the gameplay is amazing. And I'm gonna say this as a novice, but as someone that's been playing video games as a while too, I hope the next Halo game does these guys right. If you think about Halo fans as a whole, you're never gonna find a more dedicated group of fans. I don't care.
Very fair.
I don't care what you say.
Yeah, that's very fair. The Halo guys love Halo. They really do. Halo Infinite's the next one coming out. It's coming out for the PC, Xbox One, or whatever the next Xbox is, because those are coming out next year. So that next Halo game is going to come out. I just hope that they could keep up that level of commentary through the next one. That's the one part that I was super impressed by, because I had watched Halo, but I had watched Halo in like 2008 when it was on TV. Right? I don't know if you remember this, but Halo was on TNT for a while.
Wait, as what? A show?
As like an event.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's right.
They would air it on TV. They've started recently doing that again because X Games has some esports in it every once in a while, right? So that'll be on TV. But Halo was on TV. I remember that. And that's when I would watch Halo, but that was it. Right? I didn't have an Xbox, would never play it, would never do ever played it really at friends' houses or anything. We all had PlayStations, but it was awesome to watch it on TV because it was cool because these guys were on TV.
Yeah.
So
who were your standout players in that match? There?
Oh, Lethal for sure. That guy is filthy. He is so yeah. They end up dominating the game. They dominate pretty much everything the entire time. That CLG team, it was CLG, I think, was incredible. They just are. So they were, and then they went to a different team.
Is that your graphics card box in the background next to a Monopoly box in your closet?
Probably. Yeah. No, there's that, and then there's a there's like a Battleship box. Yeah. That's Battleship. That is eating. Last word. I don't know what that is. I actually played that. Good. That is a Hyper T4 air cooler, and then under that is a Hyper 220.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The room of a professional.
I have so many computer parts. I actually threw a bunch of boxes away, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something. Like old graphics card boxes, old CPU boxes, like a bunch of old stuff. So,
did you get your warranties out of this?
Only thing I've ever had to do a warranty claim on was my power supply.
Really?
Yes.
Corsair, or?
No, it's a Thermaltake. I had a 750 Thermaltake Gold that I had for 5.5 or 6 years, and it has a 7-year warranty on it. Got a power surge. Everything else was good. Power supply went. So I got a replacement power supply through Thermaltake. I had to send it in for an RMA request, but it had a 7-year warranty. They gave me another one with a new 7-year warranty. It's been 3 or 4 years. They actually upgraded me to the next model up because that was an older model, obviously because it was 6 years old at the time. So they upgraded me to a 750 Platinum, which is like about as good as you could get in power supplies. And it's not done me wrong. It's something I will never replace unless I have to. I love that power supply.
Listen to me. Some of the warranties on computer components are amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that the SanDisk 1 terabyte SSD I have in my PlayStation.
I don't have one around. I thought I did.
What?
A SanDisk hard drive.
Dude, it's freaking 7 years for that thing.
Yeah, Samsung does 5.
I'm sorry, not 7, 5.
It's 5.
5 years with a data recovery program as well.
Yeah, yeah. You get a Cronus True Image too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you get a Cronus with every Western Digital purchase, and SanDisk is owned by Western Digital, or vice versa. Those.
That SSD is doing so well on that PlayStation.
Oh, you play it every day. You play it every day.
There's not a day that doesn't go by that my screwdriver set doesn't get close to the PlayStation. Thinking about ripping that thing out. But tournament was good, man. It wasn't boring. It's just of course graphics are a huge thing to me. It's a hokey game, maybe not up to the standard of the players. And I want those guys, if anyone by God's chance hears this, to hear exactly what I'm saying. The game, not the players, I don't think is up to the standard of the game. They deserve a new game to play on.
Yeah, so Halo 5 was actually probably one of the most hated ones. They added sprint. They added. Oh man, I just got invited to. I just got invited to a 6v6 private match Modern Warfare tournament.
Did you?
By a friend. Yeah, unfortunately I can't. I'm not gonna do it because it's right now.
Dude, we can come back to this if you want.
No, it's gonna be a while. I'm good.
Wait, there is something going on. I saw it in BattleNet. There, what the heck is
BlizzCon? So BlizzCon is Blizzard's con, right? It's their convention. They announced a lot of things. They announced Overwatch 2, Diablo, the new World of Warcraft expansion, and something else that I just pretty much didn't care about, I think. So they announced that. That was today. Today was the first day of BlizzCon.
Did you get a chance to watch any recaps? I watched some on the way home.
No. I have very, very little interest. I'm interested in the Shadowkeep or Shadowfang, whatever the see, this is how interested I am in the World of Warcraft expansion that's going to come out next year, and Diablo 4. That's pretty much it. Don't really care for Overwatch. Okay. I own Overwatch. I don't play it very often, but it's a thing. Let me respond to this really quick. Go ahead, keep talking.
So why was Halo 5 hated so much? They added sprint.
They added a bunch of different things that was kind of a little bit different than what they had been originally. So again, it's a thing where purists don't like the additions. It's the same thing with Call of Duty as to why that they didn't like jetpacks really.
Okay,
cool. We're done.
No, I'm just looking at Marvel making her way.
Oh, doggo! So as come accustomed with these, we usually have a few drinks during, just because we're kind of chilling and talking. So I don't want anyone thinking that I'm doing some bad stuff over here.
Like sniffing methamphetamine.
Yeah, that. Oh, I got done with that earlier. Let's talk about games. Let's talk about games. The new Call of Duty came out 1 week ago today.
Yes.
Right. As the day November 1st, the day that we're shooting this, 1 week ago today, the game came out. Right. Do you want to talk first? Because I could talk for a while about this game.
You know what? So first Call of Duty game ever for me.
Yes.
When I say ever, I've briefly played games and I'm like, all right, you're not for me.
Okay.
Literally.
First COD ever. First real shooter on a PC.
Yes.
First competitive shooter on a PC.
Yes.
First PvP shooter on a PC.
Yes.
Okay.
Also took down a double kill. First game out on a 2.
That is true. We were trying to get him warmed up a little bit, acclimated to the thing, give him time to change his settings. So we run a team versus 2 of our friends, and Steve managed a double kill on them, 1 shot each. So if either of you hear that, comment down below how angry you were. It was hilarious to me.
It was legit, and it wasn't like, look, that was a legit like, oh, there he is, and then here he is. What do I think about the game? Graphics are amazing. Gameplay is amazing. So I mean, and in this one, I'm not going to play I'm new to it. I've done an extensive research before the game came out on what the other COD games play like. I'm the type of person that likes to know things about stuff.
You're an informed consumer, as I like to say.
Yes, and I didn't get any hands-on with any of the other COD games because I can't afford to buy stuff just to be testing to get into a new game. But I watched all the reviews from when those games came out to the year later reviews until to the this day review. And then I played this game and I was like, oh, I get it. I see why people play Call of Duty.
Okay.
So first thing, PvP, I can see why you get lost in that as opposed to doing the campaign mode because really there is no way to get sick of it. Even in your frustration, it's like when people get frustrated at the New York Knicks. New York Knicks fans, they get angry because their team is losing, but they will still go to the game. And that's how I feel about Call of Duty. I got slayed in these PvPs. And what are the modes we've played in so far?
We've played Team Deathmatch, we've played Domination, and we've played Ground War. Also a little bit of Search and Destroy, but I've gotten games in Search in this game that I've had 0.
Yeah, absolutely had a lot of fun. I have the benefit of coming into this thing late in its life and my own because I don't know the game any other way than this. So, apparently it's not very friendly for the run and gun style. And I can see how that's true. Camping is very, 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 very rewarded in this game. But I'm still having a good time. I enjoy everything about it. I even enjoy the mechanics of shooting. Very realistic. I don't know why everyone complains about maybe because I'm playing with the keyboard and mouse. I don't know why anyone complains about the kickback. Like I seem to have
the recoil?
Yeah, the recoil.
Yeah.
I have a decent amount of control over all my shots and yeah, I like it. I like it, dude.
That's good. I'm definitely glad that you like it.
I like it now that the game is working.
I fixed it. Oh, we didn't talk about this. Last week, we had come into this after me trying to fix Steven's Modern Warfare for like, an hour at least beforehand, right?
Yeah.
So after that, as soon as we got off the podcast, I was like, hey, try this. And it worked immediately. It literally was not 5 minutes after the podcast was hung up that he was able to play the game.
So what does that mean? So so if anyone doesn't know, if you don't follow us on Twitter, I have an MSI board and I had a feature enabled on my MSI board called Game Boost Mode.
Yes.
Which is basically a light overclock. It only kicks it up one hertz or whatever. I was reading up on it, like it's not even worth doing.
Correct.
But it was enabled on my board, which is technically still overclocking. And so we disabled that and the game started right up. And also, shout out Ghost Recon. Started working as well.
Yep. So it wasn't just an overclock, it's a GPU overclock, and that's important to this conversation.
Okay, how so?
GPU overclocks do weird things. So it doesn't throw firmware, but it makes the firmware act differently than what it would initially. Because it has to change the temperature curve, it has to change the fan curve, it has to change like a few things within the graphics card, and that would have caused it not to work. And strange. That does it. MSI Afterburner does it. EVGA Boost X or whatever it's called does it. Like all of those things do this exact thing. And I didn't think about it until 2 days after we tried. So, or the day of or after.
How does this impact people who have systems that are entirely based on overclocking?
GPU overclock would have to be reset. Most likely your CPU overclock wouldn't have to because your CPU doesn't have to decipher the difference between normal and what your overclock is. It just goes to the overclock, unlike a GPU. So,
what about Cash's computer? What did you do to fix that one?
His needed a driver disabled because it was reading the Intel graphics driver instead of the NVIDIA graphics driver. I think that's since been patched in the game. I think I read that in a patch note somewhere. But you disable that, and then you have no mistake. So that's what that was. Yep.
A lot of glitches when the game launched.
A lot of bugs. The servers were down for the first 2.5-3 hours. They kind of trickled people in. Blizzard is notorious for that. So right now there's bugs in the game for sure. They patched Dead Silence to where it's actually silent when you use it, and they broke all of the challenges. All of the challenges do not track accurately on your screen. It seems like server side they track normally, but visually for you, they don't track normally. So like I'm doing a challenge right now to getting 40 kills with secondaries. I have 30 of 40, but it shows me 0. And every once in a while, I'll catch a glimpse of what the actual number is and say, okay, we only have 10 more left. Okay, we only have 14 more left. So right now it's visually bugged. My Kilo is max level. It's the first gun I max leveled, but it shows as rank 1. But I still have all of the attachments. I still have all of the camos. I still have everything on it, but it shows as rank 1. So.
How do you feel playing with the cross players, man? Like I know,
it doesn't bother me.
PS4 players in there, Xbox players in there, some nasty sick players on console, of course.
Yeah, there is. There's very good players on console, but we got into a search and destroy lobby and night we went we won 13 or 14 games in a row playing search, and we got into the lobby of kids that were all crossplay, and we 6-0'd them. And it wasn't because they were good or bad or whatever. It's just that on PC we're just so much better than most of the average people who play that game when we have our communication going. We just 6-0'd them. And then at one point, like when you kill someone, you could hear the death chat. And there was that. And then in between rounds, the kids were complaining that they can't move the same way that we move. So
also, what now? So you got to break that down for people who don't play on PC.
Right.
What's different about
so a console is a linear movement, where you move hold on. I have a controller plugged in. So when you move,
Xbox,
right? Yeah, because it works natively with the computer. So I have games that I can't play with a keyboard and mouse. So when you move the stick, that's the input that you're limited to this, right? This 360 movement and how much pressure you put on the stick, right? So you have 2 variables as to what you can move with. Which is limited compared to a mouse, which I can move as fast as I want, up and down, and in like any direction, way more accurately. If you think about it, right? When you use a computer, you use a mouse because you can accurately click on things, right? On a console, you can't do that as easily as what you could with a mouse, right?
Right.
That's why it's snap to things instead of use a mouse cursor on a console. If you ever tried to use a mouse cursor on a console, you probably have with your Linux machine. It's actually really hard because like you move the stick a little bit and it flings because you put more pressure on it than normal. It's just not.
There's a lot of adaptive settings that you have to do. You can get it fairly close.
Yep.
When I say fairly, there's a huge gap there actually. So it's not even fairly. You can get it to the point where it's beyond playable, but it won't ever match, in my opinion, the way when you're playing on a computer.
Yeah, it's the level of accuracy is 30% of what you could do on a keyboard and mouse, right? So and you could just move so much faster, so much more accurately, and so much more just, I guess, pinpoint that it makes playing on a console look, childish. I know that's probably a harsh word to say, but top level PC players versus top level console players in a game that doesn't have aim assist like Call of Duty does, console players, 9 times out of 10 aren't getting a kill. So
aim assist is something they built in natively to help people
that last leg of movement. So like when I'm aiming down sight, it drags me a little bit towards the person, right?
Okay.
So it makes it a little bit easier. That's really kind of.
But Zach, what about the guys with the $200 SCUF controllers, man, and all that?
So the only thing a SCUF controller does, and visually for other people who don't know this, it adds paddles to the back that allow you to map different control binds to it. Which obviously on a keyboard you have like 52 keys to do. But you could map 4 paddles to the back of this that allow you to do things that would be on your D-pad or on back triggers and bumpers. So you really can't do that. You just still can't. Like I could do so many things if I wanted a different button for crouch. So like obviously those are all different buttons, but crouch, sprint, prone, walk, and slide. I could do that on a keyboard in any fashion that I want, right?
Right.
On a controller, you're limited to what, 8, 12 buttons?
Yeah.
Right. You have 40 less buttons than you do on a keyboard. So the keyboard's a huge part of it because you can bind so many more things to it, and then your mouse is obviously way more accurate.
So before you guys go out buying SCUF controllers, full disclosure, they do not assist you in becoming a better player, but at your own risk. If you start downloading mods before you get kicked from a game, I gotta let you know this: it is cheating and it will brick your remote. I don't believe in karma, but I guarantee. I guarantee it's going to brick your remote.
No, so like if you're on a console, for sure buy a SCUF. They're a better controller. There's a reason they're $200. They're a better controller than what your standard controller is. They're really, really nice. SCUF is one of the companies that if I was a console player, I would want to work with SCUF as like a sponsor or just as like as a consumer. Just because their stuff is so well built. They're so much better than the standard controller. And they don't give you an advantage, but they kind of do. Yeah. Right? Being able to not move your fingers off of, unless you play claw like a weirdo, like then you're at an advantage.
SCUF kind of caught some slack for this last iteration of the remote. They kind of went for a money grab, which is, they're a company. They got to make their money. Got to meet their bottom line. And they released kind of a money grab remote for this last iteration of controls before the next gen consoles. And I guess a bunch of them, the patches weren't working, the updates for the firmware for the controller, and paddles stopped working within a few months of purchase and stuff like that. So,
that can happen though. You know as well as I do that a software bug doesn't necessarily have to be the company's fault. Their board partners could have had some weird issue with the manufacturing of the motherboard in it that could have caused it. Right. So as much as I don't like controllers and I don't like consoles, I do give SCUF super respect.
Been doing it for a while. They're the best at it. There's also maybe I'll put the link in the description. We're not sponsored by any of these people, so maybe I won't put the link in the description. But
they're not paying us. They're not getting links.
But if you can't afford SCUFs, there is the FPS. Just look that up. Paddle control
adapter. I didn't know about this.
So the FPS, totally mappable. Won't brick your current PlayStation 4 remote, PlayStation or it's actually just for PlayStation. Won't brick the remote, and you can map it. The only thing that sucks about it is you would have to remap every time you come in. They say
there's no saved firmware. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
COD is fun. So here's what I'm pumped up for. Want to see what the tournaments are going to look like this year. Because
they start in January. The franchise league starts in January. Yep.
And has not gotten a good review from Scump. Didn't really get a negative review.
A lot of the players do not like the game so far, which is, whatever. That's their issue. But, it's going to be a good competitive game, for sure. I think it's going to be an amazing competitive game because there is a level of having to be tactical in the game right now that most other Call of Duties didn't have.
Yeah.
So that's a really nice addition. Now, here's the issue. I don't know. I didn't send you this link, but the Infinity Ward developers are specifically designing the multiplayer of this game to cater towards casuals. They literally came out and said this. Move your mic back towards you. They literally came out and said this. They said that some of the guns are super strong so that players who aren't as good can get kills on better players. They literally said that. And then they released a tweet that the mini-map is going to get changed back to the way the old mini-map was. By the end of November, they're going to do a quote-unquote rework of the multiplayer already. We're a week into the game and they're already talking about reworking the multiplayer.
Wait, just so I can understand, when you say reworking the mini-map, because I remember there was some controversy before the game released. They did debate on the PlayStation, reworking the map, as in you can be able to pinpoint enemies.
So the way that the map used to work is when an enemy fired, a blip would show up on the map where they were. Now it doesn't do that. The blip shows up on the compass on the top of the screen.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yes, they show up the compass on the top of the screen. They're reverting the minimap back to a normal minimap. Now, originally, so they've gone so far back on this issue. There literally wasn't supposed to be a minimap in the game.
Yes,
The mini map was not
people.
supposed to be there. That's why the maps are designed the way they are. They weren't designed so you could hold a point. They were designed because you had to move because you weren't sure where people were coming from. Now they put a mini map there and they made it kind of usable by the compass. And now they're going back to full mini map, which I think is the wrong move. I think that if you're going to make changes in a game the way that they've made changes in this game, you need to stick to it. You need to stick to it because people are going to learn and adapt, and then they're going to complain about the next game that didn't have these features. It's happened time and time again.
If you want to push the gameplay to the next level and like the next, and actually, so like I said, this is all I know about it, right? But if you have to now have running gun players deal with the fact that someone can camp and bring that type of play style to an abrupt halt, do you have one choice? You stop playing the game or you get better, you know, or you get better.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Now, do you want me to talk about the game? Because I can almost give a full entire review.
Hold on for a second. Let me just make sure that I don't have anything
pertinent to do.
Got 6 kills. Got the winning kill on the game we played together.
You did it on that on Piccadilly Search, yep.
Some kids called us sweaty.
That definitely happened.
What does that mean? What does sweaty mean?
You're trying hard. So that
really?
you're so intense into the game that you're literally sweating.
Ah, yes, I remember this because you were at one point saying that everyone was taking the game way too serious. I'm like, dude, you take this game more serious than any of these people.
No, I don't.
I'm trying to think of some others. Wrong. I think it might be my CPU. Wrong. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I enjoyed about the game. Don't like the sniper rifle, but not because it's not good. Just you got to be quick on it. You got to be quick on the draw with the sniper rifle.
Yes, you do.
You got to be quick on the draw there. I like the game, man. I'm probably gonna play some before I have to go to work at the school on a Saturday in Canada.
All right, that's what I like.
Yeah, let's get it. Everyone, get ready for Zach. Don't zone out. He's about to go deep right now, dude. He's got notes. He's got something he's looking at over there. I can tell. Go.
So I like the game. Let's put that out there. I know Steve has played with me. It may not seem like I like the game now. So. Many of you may not know. I'll throw out some, just I guess credentials. I've been playing the game fairly seriously since Modern Warfare 2. I've been playing since COD 4. Before that, I didn't play COD 4 and World at War very seriously. Modern Warfare 2 I took very seriously. And so now we're moving on past 10 years of playing the game. Most games I have at least 2 kill to death ratio. If not more. The last one was like 2.5 or almost 2.8, I think, at the end. The Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare 2, I had 3 max prestige accounts. Doesn't really mean anything to you, Steve, I'm sure, but I spent a lot of time in that game. I've hundreds of days, I think. Black Ops 4, I master prestiged, right? Game came out in the end of October. I was done by the second week of January. So play the game a lot, know a lot about the game. The way Steve has knowledge about fights, I have knowledge about these Call of Duty games. It's just kind of the area that I'm a little bit of an expert at. Now, the game changed the way that the movement worked, the way that the maps worked, the way that the gunplay worked, and the way that almost all of the HUD, right? And I can explain, you know what a HUD is, or a heads-up display. Where your mini map, the compass, the heads-up display. I'm not explaining to you. I'm explaining to the people, Steve. Or it's not just us having a conversation, which is actually this is exactly how we have conversations. What gun you're using, the tacticals, the everything, right? Whatever's on your map that's not the game, right? That's your HUD. So they changed pretty much the way that everything mechanically works with the game. Now, what they did right, the movement is amazing. I think I like the movement a lot. You're a little bit faster, like 0.1% or no 0.1x faster than you were in the beta. So you move a little bit quicker. Everything happens a little bit quicker. I like the way the gunplay is. Now, there's one caveat here. The sprint out time, which is the time it takes you to go from sprinting to holding the gun ready to fire, is a little too long. And I think that's why a lot of people are camping, because you're afraid to sprint. That's a little too long. That I think is going to get patched at some point, made a little bit quicker. Your aim down sights busy. I like the way the movement works. I like the way everything feels. I like the way the gunplay works. The guns are awesome. They all have different recoil, which is really nice. There is bullet drop, although it's not very much. What
is bullet drop?
So when you fire a bullet, like in real life, you fire a bullet and it goes down, right? Battlefield does this really well. They do like actually almost legitimate bullet drop in most situations. Call of Duty is essentially none. You don't really have to aim that high, even at like super long distances. Gunplay is really good. Maps are the worst part. That's where we're going to get into is kind of the issues that I have. As far as the loadouts and the guns and stuff go, the only issue right now is how easy it is to get claymores. Claymores are really strong. There is no real counter to them other than being able to shoot them through walls, and almost every wall you can shoot through in this game. So that's kind of nice. Excuse me. Claymores are really strong. You kind of really can't get out of the way of a claymore by reacting to it. Though in Modern Warfare 2, which is the game that I'm going to kind of refer to juxtaposed to this, because this is kind of they play similar. Modern Warfare 2 plays way faster, but other than that, they play similar. You really couldn't, but tacticals like your stun, your flash, smokes, and such would block claymores from working. This game, it doesn't. So there's only one counter to a claymore, and that's kind of the biggest issue. People can put I think it's the shrapnel perk on. You get 2 lethal equipment. You can put 2 claymores down, and now you've had 2 out of 3 rooms, or 2 out of the 3 doors in a room guarded. You sit at the other one with a shotgun, right? We've run into that a lot in every game mode, right? So you know what? It's a tactic. It's a legitimate tactic. You guys can play that way. It's just maybe one of the more frustrating things to run into a door and instantly die in any way you can get into a room. So that's the biggest issue. I think I actually literally have a fix for the issue, right? Dead silence right now isn't a perk. Dead silence is what makes your footsteps, non-existent, essentially. It used to be a perk in every other Call of Duty, literally every Call of Duty before this. Now it's not a perk, but it is a field loadout, which is this new thing that they added to the game where you get an extra thing throughout the game periodically. So it's there. What they should do is make Dead Silence a tactical equipment, just like Stim is a tactical equipment. So you can inject yourself. You get one of life. You can inject yourself. It's good for 5 seconds, and then it's gone, right? That adds a huge level of tactic to it, and you get it every life. That's the important thing. Make claymores a field loadout. So you have to get them only X amount of times a map. Maybe you get one every minute and a half or 2 minutes.
Right.
That fixes that, right? Because now it's not you die. You have 2 claymores. Now we're good to go, right? Now when you die, you have a Dead Silence again. Right, which is fine, because then if you're in Search and Destroy and you're the last one alive, you pop your Dead Silence and you could make a flanking maneuver on the enemy team that they couldn't hear. I like that. So that fixes that, I think. Now, the maps you can't fix. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, because you've never played the previous Call of Duties, but Call of Duty has a specific map design that everyone has followed up until this point, and I don't mind changing it because it has gotten stale. It's 3 lanes, right? You can get down from C to A in domination across the map in 3 different ways, right? Left, right, center. This game doesn't have that. There's 3 lanes with 3 lanes in between and 3 lanes in between that. So we're looking at 9 lanes now across the map instead of 3. It just makes the game hectic and cluttered. That's really the issue.
Is that the thing causing you think hectic is a good word to describe it, where I just see mass hysteria of people running around and there's no strategy be damned, I guess. I'm the only one looking for that.
So the only game mode that has a strategy, if you're playing with a few people, is Search and Destroy. Right. Okay. That's the one life game mode. There's 2 bomb sites. One team has a bomb, one team is defending. So there's strategy in that game mode. There's some strategy in domination, but like in your regular kill games, there is no strategy because there's no time.
Is there friendly fire in this game?
In hardcore, yeah. There's a hardcore playlist that basically everyone gets 1 shot. So
have you played hardcore yet?
I don't ever play hardcore. I just play regular. Yeah, I don't ever play it in any game. The only time I ever do play it is when I have to get like pistol challenges where I have to get X amount of kills with a pistol. Then I'll go into hardcore and just snipe people with a pistol. But that's it.
Okay. All right. So you liking the weapons?
I like everything about the game other than the maps. Other than the maps. It just doesn't. I'm a in your face rushing at you player. right? Until we get into the competitive side of thing. But in a regular public lobby, I don't let go of sprint the entire time, right? I may stop a second to heal. I may stop a second if there's multiple people coming at me. But other than that, I am running at you, and I'm just gonna run it down mid. That's all I'm gonna do the entire game, and I've gotten really good at that over the year. This game, I've had to slow it down, hold corners, hold chokes. I can still run at people, but not nearly at the speed that I could before. Maybe that's why I don't like it that much, but it's just the maps are hectic. That's kind of the issue.
I'm not liking the tanks, and I'm not like, I mean, I don't like the planes. I think that's a cheap way to get a kill. But
so,
it's in the game, so you got to use it.
That's the ground war game that we're talking about, right? Yeah. So they ripped off Battlefield in this game mode, because that's Battlefield, right? The tanks in Battlefield make sense because there's counters to tanks, there's counters to planes, there's counters to everything, unless you get someone who's really good in them. But in this game, they respawn so fast that if I blow up a tank, they have it by the time they have another one by the time this one's blown up.
Right.
So
you shot a plane out the sky the other day. I saw that. You like shot a plane.
Yeah. It'll happen. I also sniped a kid at literally 250 meters with an RPG.
Nice.
Because I was like,
sniping is the word you can use for that.
Yeah, we were up on top of a mountain, and there's a guy like deep, right? Like you could see him, but he's kind of hard to see. And I'm like, yo, Reggie, watch this. And he goes, what? And I'm like, whoosh, and then just whoosh, plus 100. You got to kill. And I'm like, ah! So yeah, I'm that guy now. Now my counter for ground war of all of the people in one place is to carry an RPG secondary.
And just get them out.
And just nuke them. Just nuke them.
How do you liking this game compared to? And I know they're not the same game. But I just want to see, because you've been playing it for a little bit. Escape from what is it called? Escape from.
You can't even. It's comparing a peach to a peach cobbler, right? One is basic. One is a advanced product, right? You can go to the store, buy peaches off the shelf, but if you buy peach cobbler off the shelf, you're an idiot. So, yeah, we're doing math here that doesn't make sense. No, Escape from Tarkov is the ultimate tactical shooter, right? Its risk and reward is the highest in any shooter ever. The skill gap is the highest in any shooter ever. So, Escape from Tarkov, it has its place. It's fun, but I used it to fill the shooter gap that I needed before Call of Duty came. You notice I only played it. No, I'm not done with it, but I will go back to it later on in the reset. Okay. I'm going to let everyone get their stuff going, and then I'll come in and kill those guys who have good stuff and then get my own good stuff. I'll let the people do the work for me.
There you go. A few other questions about COD. So, you don't like the maps. Is there anything else about the game you're not enjoying?
Claymores. That's it. Just Claymores and the lack of a dead silence. That's it. Guns are really good. The M4 is a little broken, right? It's a little strong. There just needs to be some balancing with the weapons. So M4 is a little strong. Kilo shoots a little bit fast for how much damage it does. I think you slow that rate of fire down by like 50. The Scar has way too much recoil. The Odin doesn't shoot fast enough. There's no reason to use the AK, although I think that might be the best balanced weapon in the assault rifle class. SMGs don't do enough damage to be useful at this game is a medium range engagement game, right? So it's 50 meters instead of 5 meters of which most Call of Duties are. It's where you're going to find most of your engagements. So assault rifles just dominate all of the game modes right now. SMGs are kind of only used in competitive currently for someone who's going to plant bombs. LMGs are really strong, but they'll phase out, and snipers are just snipers.
Let me ask you this: on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a complete and utter success, did not disappoint, worth the wait, 1 being Ghost Recon Breakpoint, where does Call of Duty fall?
For me right now, with the game that it sits currently, is 6.5, 7. Okay. With some balancing, with maybe some more maps, or maybe just some reworking of the tactical and lethal equipments, I think the game could be like a solid 9, if not better.
Really?
Yeah, I do like the core of the game. I like the core of the game better than probably most people like the core of the game. I think a lot of people are struggling with the new movement system. I think a lot of people are struggling with the way the guns work. But I've been dealing with that on PC for years. I've been a PC battle player for as long as I've been a PC gamer. So the movement works a lot like Battlefield movement. The guns work a lot like Battlefield works. So I have a leg up, but the masses right now do not like it.
So I'm not going to call anyone out, and you're not going to get me to drum out, but I've noticed some of the pros not having the high kill ranks that they've had with older games, and I'm not gonna put him on blast, but I've seen a guy as I've done research, how little he was killed in other games just playing it casually when they first came out compared to now, and I'm like, oh wow, he's getting murked by like regular players right now.
So this is where we go back to Infinity Ward literally saying that some of the guns are intentionally strong so people can use them. Right. So like the average person can get a kill on a pro player who you're referring.
Yeah.
That's there intentionally. And you know what? I guess it's there to stay. Infinity Ward's main goal with this game is to revive Call of Duty. And if they cannot do that, then it's kind of shot. Right? We're kind of shot. Really what Call of Duty needs to do is go to one game that they update yearly. And they could build on a really good core. Call of Duty Mobile is actually not a bad game. I don't like mobile gaming. This is not a thing that I do. I don't hate on them. It's what's keeping the industry alive for the most part. It's basically what Marvel for the last few years did to the film industry. There hasn't been any other big movies other than those Disney Marvel movies, right? This is what mobile game is kind of doing to regular gaming, as it's in a kind of not in a weird spot, but not in an amazing spot, because a lot of the games came out recently are not great. But that game on a PC, on a PlayStation, on an Xbox with crossplay would be amazing, right? Minus all the weird unlock system and the microtransactions and stuff that mobile games have. If they made that an actual game and put fan favorite maps in with all of the guns from all the Call of Duties and different attachments and a lot of kill streaks and stuff, like that would be a really good game because you're building it on a core that works really well, right? They could do that with this game if they get rid of the original maps that they launched with. And here's an issue. There's only 10 original maps. Every other Call of Duty has launched between 12 and 20. There's 10 maps, right? There's 10 regular maps. Then there is 2 ground war maps and like 6 there is 6 gunfight maps and I think 2 more 10v10 maps. So there's 20 maps total, but there's only 10 core maps. So this game launched with a kind of a little bit of content missing there, I think.
Well, in the spirit of that, when do you think the next big update's coming out for the game? It's been a week.
Probably the end of this month or the beginning of December. They usually give it a month so they can get a lot of data in. They'll patch little things. They've released probably 3 or 4 patches already of like bug fixes. The first huge content patch will probably come out in the first week of December.
And what do you think? So should they just trim the fat on the Call of Duty franchise? Is that what you're suggesting? Like just instead of it being Modern Warfare and what's the other one? Black Ops?
Modern Warfare, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare. I mean, name one, right?
Just bring it all back under to one hat, Call of Duty.
Bring it to Call of Duty. Let's get a really good core, right? Let's get a really good core that's not catered directly towards competitive or directly towards casuals.
Right.
Let's get something that everyone likes and build on it.
Yeah.
Add guns that are balanced. Add maps that are balanced for the game. Add the ground wars. Add the battle royales. Right on top of it, but let that core multiplayer be something that's incredible. And then you could expand on it every quarter, right? Because there's so many backwards compatible maps in the entire series. We've already seen them rehashed in multiple games, but they've already announced that they're going to redo Terminal for this game. This is going to be the Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, I think. And now number 5 is going to be in Modern Warfare. I mean, 5 games. You make the same map in 5 games. Who cares? Give us Standoff again from Black Ops 2, which is an incredible map, right? It was a really, really good competitive map. Give us, from Modern Warfare 2, give us Karachi. Give us Rundown. They're remaking Scrapyard for, this might be the second or third time. If it's the second time, it's awesome. I love that map. Give us Hard Hat from Modern Warfare 3. Give us Launch from Black Ops. Give us Grid from Black Ops. Give us these other maps that were good maps that need a little bit of work that could be incredible maps in this game. Right? Give us these maps. If you're going to redo maps, of course. If not, just make good maps. That's it. Just make good maps. Don't make Piccadilly.
So here's the thing. I didn't know the franchise. Now, when you say the franchise, is the franchise in danger itself, or is it just in the proverbial danger of being stale?
So I can probably pull up numbers. Yes. Every year.
Yeah.
Since Black Ops 2, I think. Call of Duty sales number. Let's see. I don't want the newest one because this one actually really, really sold well. So let's see. You peaked in 2011 with Modern Warfare 3, right? It went Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghosts, Black Ops 3, Modern Warfare 2. Like, that's what? 6. The newest one is 4 years old. That's, Black Ops 4 is one of the worst selling from last year. It's one of the worst selling. Like, Infinite Warfare of the modern Call of Duties from COD 4 on is the worst selling game. That came out in 2016. Right, it sold 13.6 million copies. Modern Warfare 3 at its peak, and this is only this is actually as of February, sold 30 million copies. Right? It's selling a third of what Modern Warfare 3 sold. It's when these Call of Duty games were coming out, when Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghost, Black Ops 3 were coming out, not even Black Ops 3, up to Ghost. When these games were coming out, they were the biggest launch in media that year. And some of them the biggest launch in media ever. Modern Warfare 2 broke records everywhere. Right? At that time, 2009, was Avatar out yet? Had Avatar made $1 billion yet?
Yes. I think Avatar was out. Let me check it out.
I could look that up. But like it was the highest grossing media release, or maybe of all time. Right?
Right.
You see when Avatar came out. This is probably 2005.
Nah.
2009. It came out in December of 2009.
Yep.
Right? But before Avatar, Modern Warfare 2 was the biggest media release of all time, right? And then Avatar came out and it did $2 billion over the next 10 years in theaters. I don't know how it was in theaters for 10 years. I just saw it yesterday. It was weird.
Wait, what did you just say?
No. So
nah!
These games were breaking records when they came out, and now none of them can catch up to Grand Theft Auto 5, which came out in 2012. None of them can catch it. Grand Theft Auto 5 sold $1 billion in the first 3 days?
No, it didn't. Did it really?
I just made up that stat. It shipped 100 million copies in the first 3 days, if I remember correctly. 5 sales record. Let me see. It's the most profitable entertainment product ever. It's made it's made $6 billion. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it best-selling video game in 24 hours. I didn't want to see how much it sold. I bought it in the first 24 hours. 800. Hold on. Here we go. It sold $815 million in sales in 24 hours. It passed $1 billion in 2 days, or in 3 days. Sorry, I was right. And just 2 days later, passed $1 billion.
Were those all console sales, or is that PC included?
PC didn't come out for a year.
Really?
That was all console sales. I bought it on PS3 because it wasn't out in PC. I was a PC gamer at the time. It wasn't out.
Wait, 5? You bought it on 3?
Yeah, it came out for the PS3 and the PS4.
Really?
I didn't have I didn't have a PS4 because I was like, okay, I have a PC. I'm not going to buy a console. I have it now, obviously. Thanks PlayStation for sending them this week.
Amazing.
Bringing it back. Bringing it back. But when these games were coming out, dude, like they were breaking every record. And now the new game is 6 games come out since Grand Theft Auto's come out. Grand Theft Auto 5, they can't catch it. They can't catch it collectively. So,
well, I've always felt like that Call of Duty served a very niche part of the gaming community.
It was huge, dude. It's huge.
Really?
You don't sell 30 million copies of Modern Warfare 3, which isn't one of the better Call of Duties. It isn't, but there was so much hype around Modern Warfare at that time. It sold 30 million copies. It's $60 a piece.
How do you enjoy that game?
Modern Warfare 3?
Yeah.
It's one of my top 10 for sure.
Okay.
It's definitely
against a game like Battlefield.
It's hard.
I don't remember you being this pumped when the latest Battlefield came out. Like there wasn't like you were more excited about like the Division 2 coming out. Than you were
I like the Division a lot. That's a niche game. Battlefield 5 I wasn't that excited for because I didn't play Battlefield 1, the one before that, which is World War 1, and this was World War 2. I bought it and played it, but I waited for it to go on sale. I actually really like Battlefield, but to get people in and to play Battlefield, it's a job. Like to gather people who are good at Battlefield, good enough to where you have a 4-person squad that you can have fun with and do things with in Battlefield. It's a job, dude. A job. Because then you have to okay, well, stop playing League of Legends and come over here. Stop playing this other game and come over here to this game that we play once in a while. Still to this day, if me and Shane are bored and we want to play a casual game, we're like, hey, let's just go mess around at a game. We go play Battlefield. Because Battlefield, you could be a hardcore player and be in the thick of things, or you could be sitting in the back with a sniper, just messing around. I still, between the two of us, had the longest headshot. It was 1,300 meters.
Do you guys ever casually think about just jumping into Rainbow Six Siege?
No. Rainbow Six I have to be in a mood for. I have to be like, all right, I want to die really early on in the first 2 games that I'm playing, and then play well, because I have to relearn how to play the game every time, because I don't play it that much.
How would you describe the gameplay in that game?
Rainbow Six?
Yeah.
Slow, methodical, and relatively boring.
Let's do that. I'm gonna throw some games out. You describe the gameplay. PUBG.
High skill gap, lots of waiting, and then you die to something that you probably didn't think you were gonna die to.
Overwatch.
Really fun if you're drunk.
Also, you might have a seizure. The gameplay. I've seen
no,
the gameplay.
it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Let's see. We got Battlefield. We got Ghost. We got Siege.
This is the only games that he knows. Division, fun if it had content.
Fun if it had content.
When it had content, when I had content on it, I played 50 hours in a week while working a full-time job.
Doom.
Never played it.
Never played Doom.
Eye candy, visually appealing. Never played
visually appealing. Fortnite.
It's for children.
What? Some of the biggest streamers you've never met
are children. Yeah, good. Good for them. I'm happy for them. Game is for children.
I'm trying to think of any. Apex.
Fun, high skill gap, little too hectic for me.
A little too hectic.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was listening to Shroud, so they were asking. Shroud was playing with some guys Fortnite, and they were like, "Man, you should really think about going pro." And he's like, "Yeah, I just don't think my skills translate very well to this game." He's like, it doesn't pay off. And then he started talking about PUBG and how much he loved that game at first.
Yeah.
He's like, now really, if I'm not playing COD, I play Apex. He's like, 'cause it's a game that, I thrive in. It's like, it's a huge, huge payoff, a very small margin, space for margin. You can't mess up in that game, really. So,
I mean, you can if you have good teammates. I always play with good teammates. When the game first came out, dude, we might have been me, Pat, and Arcs, or me, Reggie, and Arcs, or me, Shane, and Arcs, or me and Arcs might have been the best duo in that game. We were crazy at it. In the first week so it came out the week before I went to California. It came out the week before. So we played it for
really? Did it?
Yeah.
It's just that's recent.
We played it for a week and got 20 wins. In actually it would have been 3 or 4 days, dude. It would have been 3 days. We got 20 wins. I went to California and lost all my skill. Really, what happened is people got better. I was gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
People got better, but we were rolling through teams.
See, I don't know any other shooters. What are other shooters that people are playing?
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike.
Hard. That's the only word I have for that game.
Really?
Other than that, they're really like, who cares? That's pretty much where it is. Halo, old. Escape from Tarkov.
I envision that game being like going to a real casino versus going to the slots machine. It's like, oh man, I won $5 on the slots on the table. So that's
it's like that game is like going to a casino or taking a course on how to build guns. I have to match up barrels to ammo types to magazines that'll fit that ammo type that'll fit in the gun because
okay. See that type of shit. I'm just like,
there's different ammo types that'll fit in different magazines, but that magazine won't fit in the gun. So what does it matter? Like I did that right before the game reset. I bought 20 mags. I'm like, I got a good gun. I like this gun a lot. I bought 500 rounds of ammo by accident, and I bought 20 mags. Ammo fit in the mags. Mag didn't fit in the gun. I wasted a lot of money and time filling those mags, and then subsequently.
Wait, was this real money or fake money?
No, fake money.
Okay, you don't do the microtransaction thing. You don't buy stuff.
If I like a game, yeah, I'll support the developers if I like a game. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So Black Ops 4, I spent let's say $50 in microtransactions just to like finish leveling out at the end of a season or something. Warframe, I've purchased packs in Warframe. Because I like the game, and I think it's a small developer group, so I like to support people like that. Most games I buy the most expensive version I could get to reap the rewards that come with it. So that's kind of supporting there. But other than that, no. I bought some packs. I bought some like car packs early on in Rocket League, but other than that, no. I don't really. Not a big microtransaction guy.
Destiny.
Way more fun than I thought it was gonna be. Still for weird people.
What?
This is what you're looking for? You're looking for broad hot takes?
No, what weird people?
Like, just go on Twitch, go on Mixer, go on DLife, go on YouTube Gaming, go on Justin TV, go to the Destiny area. I don't know. I forget the area. Look at not the top 5, not the bottom 5. Look at the middle 5 because it's the 15 people. It's all streaming it. Look at those people. Weird people. I'm sorry, guys. I love you, Destiny people. I think Destiny's a good game. Holy shit, y'all are weird.
Some huge Destiny player also made the move to Twitch's from Twitch to Mixer.
Yeah, don't care.
Goth, I think his name.
Or Goliath.
Yeah, there it is. Goliath.
Yeah.
Made the move. Yeah, I'm looking at this guy. I wish I could screen share right now. And man, he's got a couple of WWE.
There you go. There you go. Similar people. That's all right. We love the Destiny community.
We love you guys. Please like and subscribe.
So, any final thoughts on Call of Duty? Because I want to transition away from Call of Duty. I think I spoke alone 30 minutes about Call of Duty. I can't.
Well, that's the point. You know, in a former career that I had, it was my job to ask open-ended questions to get people really excited and explain to me why they were excited about things. And,
did I do an adequate job?
You did. You did.
That's what I was going for.
The thing, man. It's actually fun to play, and it is fun to play with friends. It is. So for the casual person, it's enjoyable. It is. What are we transitioning to next?
So let's talk about other media, right? We're talking about media earlier. You have a few good topics here for the episode tonight, and I do appreciate that. I've been kind of slacking on the topics the last 2 weeks. You've done most of the topic work, which I do everything.
He does the editing. He paid the Frenchman that set up that fake set that we think is his room. We're actually in the same room right now.
He's we're right here. Ready for this?
That door leads to that door.
If he knocks on it right now, you'll hear it.
But what do we got? So we got
So
movie we could forget.
What is a movie that you have seen? Because I think you have one in mind. If you wrote this as a topic, that you wish you could forget. Now, hold on. Before you do this, because I'm going to blow your mind here. you can forget a movie for 2 different reasons. One that you didn't like it and it was a waste of your time, or that you liked it so much that you want to be able to experience it again. What your movie that you wish you could forget?
Well, I don't want to experience it again, but I'll lay this out for you. I really enjoyed 300. Let's be real about what that movie is. 300, the first time you see it.
With Brad Pitt?
What?
I don't know.
No.
I've never seen it. I was
Gerard, you've never seen 300?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I don't have time.
Gerard Butler. Great movie, not accurate, not historically accurate.
Is this also with Khaleesi? Isn't she in this too? The woman who played
Yes. No, not Khaleesi. She was on Game of Thrones, but she didn't play. She played.
Wasn't she Khaleesi?
No. She's the sister.
Yeah, Lena Headey.
Yeah, Lena Headey did not play Khaleesi in Game of Thrones.
No, oh my god, she's the I didn't watch that show either. She's the she's the queen for the longest time.
Yeah, Cersei.
Yeah, that name. I couldn't think of her. I thought they were the same person, to be honest with you. I am sorry, Game of Thrones fans. Y'all are weird too.
Amazing. Visually, it was it's eye candy. It's not going to win any awards.
Oh, it was cinematography by Larry Fong.
Based on that, I dragged 2 of my friends with me to go see Rise of the Empire, the sequel to 300.
There was a sequel?
Yeah, which is really more of a.
I thought 300 was a bad movie.
Midpoint, and then it's like what leads into supposed to be the final conflict. And man, I got to tell you, everything about this movie was just unrememberable. Like, just to the point where I wanted it to end.
Really? That bad, huh?
That bad. So bad, one of my friends tried to stiff me on. I paid for his ticket. I paid for all their tickets, and they were going to recoup me the money because I got, this is before, you
get movie pass.
Reserve it. Yeah. Paid for their tickets, and then when the movie was up, I had to literally almost threaten both of these dudes to get my money. Can't unsee it. There's not one redeemable thing about the movie.
You know what would have been better? If Brad Pitt was in it.
He was supposed to be in Deadpool 2, and he was actually in Deadpool 2. He was supposed to play it. He was a very small part in Deadpool 2. He played the Invisible Man. They got burned up by the electrical thing.
Did he really?
Yeah,
that's hilarious. That was a really good scene. I love that. Like, there's the one guy who had like a really super useful, like a superpower, and they're like, and we'll take that guy who didn't have any superpower whatsoever. He's like, come on, man. Oh no, it was the taxi driver. His taxi driver friend. He's like, we're gonna take Bill, and they're like, what?
Come on.
And Bill's like, yeah, I'm just really serious all the time. I love that scene. And then like the Invisible Man, he's like there. He's like, you're hired.
That's Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt was supposed to play Cable, and he just didn't have the time schedule, and he would have been a good pick for that.
Really? But, I thought.
Yeah.
How was that guy saying? This is a really good pick.
Yeah, the guy who played Thanos. Yeah, he's killing.
I didn't know he played Thanos.
Yeah, he voiced Thanos, and
I'm sure he didn't body double him.
So go look up after this. Anyone that's listening, all 38 of you, go look up
Rise
of an Empire 300. And if you saw it, please comment and like and subscribe. Actually, why don't you just look at a poster and read the caption that they have for the poster? I'm pretty sure I have it down.
Rise of an Empire. Let's see.
Yeah, 300.
Let's see what the poster is. Oh my! This looks like a parody, dude. Seize your glory. This looks like a parody. Is this not a parody?
Dude, it almost looks like an advertisement for a Netflix version. You know how Netflix makes the bootleg?
Or like a complete... Nah, this looks like it is on the same production level as Sharknado.
But here's the thing. There were moments where you're like, the movie's really going to pop off. Like the first battle scene was actually that's one thing that I enjoyed about it. The very first battle. And some of the cinematography was really cool. Eva Green was cool in it. Xerxes was cool in the movie. But then it's just like, at some points, I'm just like, this is absolutely, I can't even say retarded because I don't want to offend anyone, but that's what it was.
That's a word you cannot say on YouTube. Our entire channel just got banned.
The algorithm found
just cancel the freaking recording. No.
Killed us in our sleep. But yeah, so I can't unsee that movie. What about you, man?
So I'm going the exact opposite way. I want
You're gonna say Joker.
No.
Okay.
Complete left field. I want to be able to see Interstellar again.
Ah, I've never seen it, but everyone talks about that.
What? You've never seen Interstellar? That's way worse than me not seeing 300, dude. That is way worse. Interstellar is an incredible movie. It got snuffed for not fucking winning movie of the year or best picture, whatever the hell that stupid Oscar movie is. That was the worst snub of all time. That was such an incredible. I've seen it. Hold on. Do movies make you cry? You get emotional during movies. This is okay to say because I'm going to follow this up. No.
I sometimes I get a little choked up. But not an actual.
Marley and Me, the dog dies. You don't cry.
Marley and Me.
That might not even be it. It was like with the golden retriever.
No.
Owen Wilson.
Mac and Me. I cried when I was a kid.
I don't know what that is. Anyway, it's just about making mac and cheese because that's what it sounds like. Anyway, Interstellar will make you cry. But you're going to be so amazed by the movie. It's incredible.
That good, huh?
I love it. It's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've almost watched it a few times when it was free on TV. Maybe this
don't
time
watch it. Don't watch it on TV. You don't want the ad. You don't want the ads in there.
No, I mean like free, like HBO or something like that. Cable. I should have said cable.
Okay, whatever those words mean. Watch it on that. Watch it where you can have no ads. You're gonna get no interruptions. You're not gonna cut anything out of the movie.
Right.
It is more than 3 hours. I think I saw it in theater, and then I've seen it 2 other times. Like when I was like sitting, like house sitting, and I was like,
right.
We're watching Interstellar. This is where
it's gonna. Who'd you say that to? You were house sitting, and you with someone else?
Like, oh yeah, there's always people with me when I house sit.
We're gonna have some pasta, and then we're watching this.
How to cook the pasta? We're watching Interstellar. Yeah, it's incredible.
Oh, man, Billy brought me a KFC bowl, and I saved it. I'm gonna eat that shit right after
this. Billy, our former editor, which we had to fire, which now have Jeff.
Jeff's been messing up a little bit too,
dude. You know what? It's. We're gonna have to talk. You know, I
drinking on the job.
I forgot about those. You know what? I was giving Jeff. I sent him home for the day.
Yeah.
I can't, dude. I can't. Interstellar's a movie I wish I could see again for the first time.
All right. I'm gonna check that out. You watch Rise of an Empire. I'll watch Interstellar.
I gave you an incredible movie to watch, and you gave me something that your friends would have fought you over to not have to pay you to see.
Dude, they like squared up too. I was like, all right, so yeah, gotta get that money in. Like, ready to fucking go. You know what's crazy? I'm trying to think. So I was in the employee lounge today at the school and the teachers lounge there, and
yep.
I was listening to someone talk about how they hope other superhero movies will be as good as the Joker, and I said, hold on for a second. I'm like, here's the thing, right, about the Joker. You don't want every movie to be like the Joker. I want the Avengers to stay in their lane, right? I want Logan to stay in their lane because that's what makes the Joker movie good. But I'm not going to go on a tirade on that. A movie I wish I could watch again for the first time would actually be Joker and Logan. You should watch Logan.
It's going to bore me to death, dude.
Dude, you don't need to watch any of those other X-Men movies. In fact, don't watch those movies because it's only going to make you angry. You're going to be like, wait, so this guy's been playing the same character for nearly 2 decades, and you're telling me that they let him do it the right way when he was leaving the franchise? You know?
Is that really what happened?
Yeah, dude, in all honesty, man, not only did Hugh Jackman, this is pre-MCU purchasing, Disney purchasing Fox.
MCU?
Yeah, but no, this is before Disney bought Fox, which got them the rights back to the X-Men. Hugh Jackman went to Marvel Comics, not Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Marvel Comics, and said, hey, we need to use some comic shots in the movie, which isn't allowed. They're not allowed to do that, even though they own the rights to the character for film development, stuff like that. And because of Hugh Jackman it's him and Keanu Reeves, the nicest guy in Hollywood. And they were like, all right, we'll do this for you. Not only did he do that, he pitched the hard R. Like, he pushed for it hard for this movie because he wanted to go out on top and not play an edited version
of
Wolverine.
Rated R?
Yes.
Because you said hard R.
Yes. No, it's a hard. This is a hard rated R, dude. Like,
where I come from, those two are way two different things.
listen, I don't know any derogatory terms that start with the word R. So unless you're out here like insulting people of different, what I'm
Different
saying.
players. Oh, the Call of Duty players, we use hard R's all the time.
Okay. No, oh no. Oh right. I just caught that. No.
There you go.
This is like a hard rated R.
There you go. I like that extra word in there.
There you go. And like, in fact, that's the only thing I didn't like about Call of Duty. But I'm not going to disparage. It's not the game's fault. Some people use some hard R's.
Moron.
I want you to know I wrote down your IP addresses.
This is now becoming illegal.
But yeah, go and watch Logan. They did a really good job. And even the person in the teacher's lounge when we were talking about it. Here's the thing I don't like. I was gonna throw this in the list, man, because we're talking about things we can forget. I wish I could forget Martin Scorsese. Not
I thought you were gonna say like The Martian. No. Like I thought you were gonna say Martin Scorsese, the world-renowned director.
Listen to me, man. This guy, I have the
films such as
Goodfellas, Casino.
Whoa! What? Really? You don't like this guy? Did you say Goodfellas and Casino? I mean, two of the best mob movies of all time?
With the same actors? Basically, it's Goodfellas Part 2 in Vegas.
Yeah! That was amazing!
Okay. No, it's not that I like those movies.
The Wolf of Wall Street?
Come on, let's be real. The Wolf of Wall Street is a comedy.
Yes. Gangs of New York?
That movie's only great because of Daniel.
Shutter Island? What an idiot. What an idiot.
Listen to me, you moron. Shutter Island. You fall into the Scorsese trap. It's his name that makes you enjoy the movie. Because you don't want to admit that if you paid to see it in the theater. Shutter Island, the only good thing about that movie
Taxi Driver.
How many times have you watched Taxi Driver?
Never.
Shut your filthy mouth. You pseudo-elitist. Like, anytime someone brings that up, I ask them, like, have you actually seen that movie? And they're like,
that's awful.
Well, my dad watched it.
Oh my god.
I was like,
The Irishman? I haven't even seen it yet. Probably
Did it
amazing.
Drop today? Did it drop today? Or
yes. I don't know. I actually
supposed to not be recording to watch that.
Just don't remind me. I have to watch it tomorrow.
I want to watch El Camino. I want to watch El Camino.
I don't care about Breaking Bad.
Yeah, you're not a Breaking Bad fan, but it's actually one of the few shows that's renowned for ending the right way. It's rare that a TV show can keep it going. And I don't care what any of you people say. There was a lull in season blah 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 blah. The whole show is great from beginning to end, dude.
This is going to transition really well because I can't take any more Breaking Bad talk. What is the show that you're excited for? Because you put this here. I don't watch TV shows, so I don't have an answer to this.
I don't watch TV shows either. I watch a lot of stuff with my wife. Like we'll catch like some Amazon shows and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
Man in the High Castle was really good.
Yeah, she loves that show. I'm excited for Watchmen. I watched a bit of the first episode. I'll probably watch more when I have some time. And yeah. But here's why I'm excited. I like divisive things, and I love the effect it's having on people already. Like,
I don't even know what it is. Is that a superhero thing?
What?
Watchmen is.
What do you people get off with this internet superhero thing? You play a game called Call of Duty.
Hold on. Because that would explain entirely why I'm not interested in it.
Wait, where does this inner snob from everyone comes from when it comes to comic movies?
It's a comic book
novel. It's a graphic novel.
Okay.
Written
based in what universe?
It's owned by DC.
So it's based in a comic book universe.
Right.
Okay, so it's a comic book. That's all I asked. I wasn't anything wrong with it. What is
Have you need to read the graphic novel because this is actually,
I don't because it's gonna. Yes, I'm not gonna watch the show.
Yes. We'll watch.
Wait, is Watchmen with Mr. Manhattan?
Yes.
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan. Yes.
Yeah, and the comedian.
Yes.
And Lex Luthor.
Yeah. No, you idiot.
Does Batman get involved?
Alan Moore. Look this man up. Look, this is the guy who wrote Watchmen. Look him up. First picture that comes up, that's how your soul looks when it doesn't read Watchmen.
Why does he look like the real life Gandalf? Why does he look like he's a Lord of the Rings character mixed with Weird Al?
Dude, I'm very excited for this show because I like divisive things, and like I see that it's already garnering a reaction from hardcore Watchmen fanboys and fans alike. So I'm pumped about this. Watched a little bit of it, really enjoyed it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Another
I'm glad
show
for
I'm
you.
looking forward to is Jack Ryan. My wife already started watching it, but
is that the one with
Tom Clancy? Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan.
I was gonna call it. I was gonna say an actor. Guy who was
in The Office.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his name.
Married to Emily Blunt. Everyone remembers his wife's name, but he's also extremely funny.
But he just made that really good movie too.
In A Quiet Place.
Yes, that was a good movie. I watched that.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, that was really good. I don't usually like horror movies, but it wasn't a horror. It was a psychological thriller.
Getting a sequel, by the way.
Is it? I thought it ended well.
First horror movie to hit $1 billion.
That was it considered a horror movie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they celebrate.
John Krasinski.
That's my guy. Might play Reed Richards.
When you know what, when he plays something, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah,
it's usually pretty good.
To think about where he's come from The Office, which wasn't like that some shit show or something like that.
It was a pretty trash show. I agree.
No, great show. I've only watched 2 episodes, but I have a lot of love for Office fans. There's some great people.
Yeah, I've watched all of it.
Have you really?
Yeah, I've seen all The Office.
What about Workaholics? You don't like Workaholics?
It's okay. It's just like a lazy Office, which is funny to say, but no, I've seen part of it. Not a huge fan.
Broad City?
Never seen it.
Never watched one episode.
No. When I say I don't watch TV, dude, I mean I literally do not watch TV. I don't.
The Boys?
I've seen everything but the last episode. Still.
Really? Why haven't you watched
because I just don't care. I don't care to watch it.
The Boys?
Yeah.
The Amazon show.
Yeah. I've watched everything but the last episode. I watched.
You were like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And then the episode before the last episode, I didn't think was that good. So then I didn't watch the last episode as to not have a lasting opinion of it being garbage. There's a reason I haven't watched past season 3 or season 4 in Silicon Valley. Because
this is why you watch Letterkenny, because you don't have to really commit to it. It's just like a skit show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and South Park. South Park is good every season, but
South Park has not been good since season
3. Season 1?
3.
So widely considered the best episode of all time, Make Love Not Warcraft came out season 10.
No.
Super hilarious. You've never seen the Little League fighting episode where Randy is fighting other dads at Little League games? Hilarious.
The best episode I've seen outside of season 3 is They Took Our Jabs.
Which has happened a few times, so you don't even know which ones. Was it the one where they're doing the WWE in the backyard? Because that one was hilarious.
Was that which one was it the same episode with the that was the Took Our Jobs, the alien people who were like hermaphrodites?
No, that's season 4 or 5, dude. That's way early on.
Actually, for me, I peaked on that show after the movie because I knew the first time I saw that, like, it's never gonna be better than this. They threw everything they had in there, and then they made basketball. Basketball. Remember that movie that came out with basketball?
No, it came out before I was born, dude. You gotta remember that movie, the South Park movie came out, I was 1 year old. I was 1 when that movie came out, dude.
Horrible.
Anyway.
So you have insomnia?
Super bad. Yeah, it's mainly because I've been playing like super late and then it's like, so you know how like
that's not insomnia, that's addiction. And
no,
insomnia
it's
can't help sting.
Yeah, but like, have you ever done something and then you're just like, you can't sleep afterwards because it's all you can think about? This is insomnia.
Yeah.
That's insomnia.
That's not insomnia. That's not. It's called addiction.
No, that's insomnia. I think you're just wrong, dude. Which is okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
Let's look up what insomnia means.
No. Oh my god, I've been playing until like super late, and then like have to stay up super late afterwards because I have to like decompress, and it takes 2 or 3 hours. So I've been getting like 2 hours of sleep before I go to work. These children in the morning have really been lacking. My work doesn't come around until about noon. After I've woken up.
So, that one day when I stayed up to 3 with you guys, I'm like, oh, it's all good. And then came to work when I felt I had the day off. Bad decision.
Yeah, well, yeah, coming to work when you have a day off, that's a bad decision.
Tell me a little bit more. Let me get into my clinical stance here. I'll bring it back, make sure I'm close to the exit. That way, if the client rushes you, you can always get out the door. That's a real thing. Look it up.
That's what I do every day.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think you have insomnia?
Because I can't sleep.
Why can't you sleep?
Because I'm staying up late.
Why are you staying up late?
Because I can't sleep.
What are you doing when you stay up late? What's your routine like?
I lay in bed and toss and turn and then watch YouTube videos.
That's not a true statement, Zach. You just said that there was a reason you were staying up late.
Right, because I can't sleep.
No. What's the real reason?
It's because I can't sleep, dude. Now,
so you play
admittedly, I have been playing a little bit later than I normally play. Instead of getting off at about midnight, I get off at about 1:30, which isn't that big of a deal. An hour and a half less I could deal with.
So what are you doing that last hour and a half when after the gameplay? The adrenaline's pumping. You're cursing at the screen. You're like, I'm gonna find this guy and switch. Shot me in the head. Bang, 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 bang. And then what happens?
I go to bed. And then lay in bed.
Oh, you go to bed, but you're not asleep.
Yeah. I go to bed and then lay there, and I'm like,
are you sweating? Are your hands shaking?
No, that's what weird people do.
Do you eat a Hot Pocket? Because I know
I don't like Hot Pockets. I don't like Hot Pockets. I haven't had them since I was like 13. Ate them.
So you don't eat any food? You just try to raw go to sleep?
Yeah, you're not supposed to eat before you go to sleep.
If I got Oreos, I go upstairs, get myself about.
Wait, well, you didn't mention Oreos.
Drop them in a cup.
You didn't.
A little milk over the Oreo.
You've explained how you eat Oreos before.
So you just literally lay in that bed, no TV on, like a psycho.
Well, I have my laptop, and sometimes I watch videos. Like I watch like YouTube videos before I go to bed. But I don't use my phone while I'm in bed. Don't really do any of that. So
what the hell are you still doing up there?
I mean, I have insomnia.
I guess you do.
And it all comes back to me. Originally correct.
I guess you do. Now that we've gone a little deeper, so you would be up even if you weren't playing the game, is what you suggest.
Yeah, pretty much. That's just life.
Are you up writing lists and stuff like that?
No, I'm not a list person unless like.
So then we know you're not plotting anything.
Good. Right. I'm not a list person unless some shit has to get done. If I'm like, all right, I'm packing to go on vacation tomorrow, there is a list. But that is it. I'm not a list person other than that. You might be. You seem like a list person.
No, I'm not, dude. I live by when I say my wife really, really saved my life, I was like, live by all I know is you're never late. If you got an appointment, always be there an hour early so you can get the lay of the land. Maybe you need to get a cup of coffee, drink something, use the bathroom before you go do whatever it is. You want to know where you're going, be there on time. I'm very, very strict that way, right? I want to know where I'm going. I don't want you holding the phone when the GPS is on. I want to be able to look at it. I don't want to have to look over at you and say, are we turning here?
We're turning here? Steve, we're on a highway. Are we turning here? We're turning here. There hasn't been a turn for 5 miles. Are we turning here?
Listen to me. When I go to sleep at night, here's what I do. I do have a ritual, and it does follow a list.
All right, go ahead.
This stuff up, get into the YouTube, right? Got to do some research, and then my research takes me down the rabbit hole, and I finally end up on Dr. Disrespect's channel, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch.
We did it, Champions Club. We did it, and your wife's like, "Shut up! It's 2 a.m. Champions Club."
That, I'll find like, how do you think I do all the research about the stuff I learned? Like, I just found out who Learn was. Do you know who this person is? Learn. She is a Twitch streamer that pretends to be a female noob playing PUBG. And she thinks it's funny. She'll get into a lobby with a couple of misogynistic, and she finds like the creme de la creme. I'm talking about guys who refer to as baby DICK. That's and they're like just totally ragging on her gameplay. And she runs in the room, owns everyone.
Dude, there's a few people like that who do that. But yeah, I've never heard of Learn. Actually, maybe briefly, I've heard the name. But I don't know who she is. But I like when shit like that happens. It's always so funny.
Dude, I feel bad for the ring girls in the one championship.
Did they get beat up?
Yeah, I don't think they're there of their own free volition.
Oh. So, last topic of the show. Let's close it out after this one.
Zach's trying to transition to a private game. He just got another text. There must be another game jumping off. What's going on, bro? How many people in this game? Keep it real with the people.
6-on-6. There's 11 currently. They've been at 11 since they messaged me earlier. Anyway, let's UFC 244. It's a huge card, right? Obviously there's going to be an episode of the UFC fight recap afterwards. You guys can catch up on those. They're in a playlist on the channel. I'm trying to look up. We had opposite predictions, like we always do.
Yep.
Like we always do, and it usually makes me
total right column.
Yeah.
I mean left column. Sorry.
Yeah, you went total left column. You for sure did. You picked pretty much against me in every way. You literally picked against me in every way, I think.
But it wasn't random because I'm looking at Jorge to weather the storm and the card. He doesn't have cardio issues.
Okay.
He's got great boxing, got great jiu-jitsu. This could have either been a pick'em fight for me, but I do think Jorge will edge out and hurt Diaz. He won't put him away, but I think he'll outbox.
Yeah, see that's exactly where I went with that, but for Diaz. I think Jorge's going to come out with something crazy early. Not going to be that flying knee. It might be a jumping sidekick. It might be something, right? They're trying to throw Nate off early. Nate's been in there with everyone. He's seen everything. So is Jorge. He's seen everything, and he's just going to do what he does. First 2 rounds are going to be bad for Nate. That's always the case. But 3, 4, and 5, it's going to be the Diaz show. You know, and we really have to see. It is. We really have to see how well Jorge Masvidal deals with the slap, right? Because it could throw him off his game entirely. Because he's an emotional guy. I don't think it will, but there is that off chance that something weird like that happens. But I picked Nate on this one. Stevie picked George Masvidal.
Then I took Kelvin Gastelum.
So did I.
This is prior to any weight cutting issues, but I'm gonna go with the experience and the boxing and movement of Gastelum.
Darren Till's on 2-loss streak, 3-loss streak, something like that. He didn't look out of the cage. He looked really unstable after the last fight. Yeah. I think this might be maybe even it for Darren Till at this point. Whether he moves out of the UFC. You go on a 3-loss streak in the UFC, man, you know you're on the chopping block.
He lost to Woodley and then he lost to Jorge, so 2 fights.
He loses to Kelvin Gastelum. That's 3-loss streak. You go on a 3-loss streak in the UFC, I don't care who you are put on notice. And whether, I don't know if this is his last fight in his contract, I don't know what it is, but if you lose 3 in a row, unless you're BJ Penn, they either throw you a gimme or they tell you to give me that contract back.
Or they help you on to your next level.
Exactly. And that's kind of been the case. Even though I think Darren Till he's really good. He really is. I think he needed a warm-up fight or 2 at middleweight. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. We could both be wrong. This is the only pick I think on the card that we picked the same fighter.
Who's that? Oh, Kelvin Gastelum?
Kelvin Gastelum. I picked Gastelum too. Gastelum. After that last fight, after Adesanya versus Whitaker, we saw how good Gastelum was.
But I already knew. I've known since he beat Uriah Hall for the Ultimate Fighter. I've known since he knocked Tim Kennedy out. I've known since he should have won that fight against Tyron Woodley at welterweight. And I know for a fact that he could have, it was just the damage, the amount of damage he took against Stylebender. Yep. And then that shows you how great a fighter Stylebender is. That was an amazing classic fight right there. But I would not be surprised if Darren Till makes me look like a fool because he has the height advantage.
Yep.
He does tend to lean back on his cross, which Kelvin has to come inside because he's a smaller guy. So that is his path to victory. If he wins, mark my words, it's going to be a counter. And it's going to be because Kelvin's coming in trying to get
that's very fair. That's really fair.
Now speaking about 3-fight skids, I'm thinking here.
Stephen Thompson.
He lost 2 times to Woodley.
Yep.
Then he lost to Darren Till, so that's 3 fights right there. Then he got knocked out by Anthony Pettis.
Yep.
This man's lost his last 4 fights.
Yes, he has. Actually, no. He lost to Tyron twice, beat Jorge Masvidal, then lost to Till, then lost to Pettis. So 2 losses, 1 win, 2 losses.
He's okay.
I picked Luque in this.
Did you go back and watch any of his fights?
Yes. A few. I don't have the memory and knowledge that you do. He looks very convincing in most of.
Yeah.
So
he's a slow starter. He gets hit a little bit, but I picked Steven in this fight because I just feel like again, he can slow down the pace of a fight, and I had to pick him over Vicente, who I actually like a lot.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with his pacing, Steven might be able to work him on the outside, and just if he can avoid the power shot, which Vicente has laced some people and he's knocked some people out, but it has been like scary power. It's been over an amount of time, like a cumulative amount of punches. So I think Steven slows down the pace of the fight to a snail's crawl.
Okay.
Points him. That's where I get that victory. There.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Wonderboy gets knocked out again.
His jaws just
it's shot, dude. I got knocked out by.
Also,
what was the last time Anthony Pettis knocked someone out before that? He breaks his hands in most of his fights now.
Yeah, dude. Actually, he was losing that fight.
Yeah, and hit him with. He was losing that fight. Like it was going to go to decision, and there was going to be a 10-8 round in there.
Yeah.
And then he hit him with a Superman punch and dropped him.
Yeah.
So.
Steven does not take a punch.
He doesn't take a punch well anymore. And if Luque gets one in there, it's pretty much over for Wonderboy, unfortunately.
I stand by it. If he loses this one, then he'll, Chris Weidman went up to 205. He's not staying there now, but
he's not? I didn't hear that, actually.
No, I haven't heard it either, but what would be the point? He can't run with any of the guys coming up. He can't beat Johnny Walker. He'd probably take Corey Anderson,
Yeah, but he might be the only one.
Yeah. But I think Steven goes up to middleweight if he loses this one.
Okay.
And then we got the most obscene man in America.
Derek Lewis.
When I hear his name, my skin crawls.
I love Derek Lewis. That guy is hilarious, dude. That guy is awesome.
I picked Derek Lewis over Ivanov, who is a great fighter, by the way. Make no mistakes. If you've never seen him fight before,
yep.
A little sloppy against JDS, but
yeah,
he's a good fighter.
Here's my counter to this. If anyone can withstand Derek Lewis's power, it's going to be this guy.
Yes, for sure. But I picked Lewis because I've learned not to bet against the man unless he's fighting DC. If he's got a second left in the fight and he
has death in his hands.
Yes.
He has death in his hands.
Yes, he does.
So,
and he can take a punch. And he can take kicks to the belly.
He was getting beat by Volkov until what, 15 seconds left? And he hits him he threw the same punch 5 times and over.
He's the Dan Henderson of the heavyweight.
He hit that man that man didn't know where he was until when he fights in Moscow, next week?
Dude, he's the superior fighter too. The superior athlete. Man lives right. He eats right.
He fights. He looks like Drago from the Rocky movies. He fights next week against Greg Hardy. He's gonna wipe the floor with Greg Hardy.
You think so?
Oh my God, Greg Hardy's not a good fighter. He's getting better. He's getting way better, but he's still not Volkov level.
He's got asthma, man. How dare you?
Who cares? Who cares? If you have asthma, you're a weak person.
Your man, Kevin Lee.
Yep.
Versus
I picked
American Treasure.
Your man, Gregor Gillespie. I picked Kevin Lee. I like him coming out of this new camp. I like him coming out of TriStar.
Ah, you fell for it. You fell for it. He hasn't been down there long enough for it to make a difference.
He's been there for 4 months.
Dude, I'm telling you, he has not been in the rotation. This is just all right.
This is the one that matters to me now.
Why?
Because now you're questioning any knowledge that I have, which is very little. It's this much knowledge.
He has not been there long enough to settle in. He needs to stay there for a whole year.
Okay.
Right, but
what was Kevin Lee's last fight?
Lee's last fight was against
knocked out. Oh, RDA.
Yes. No, he didn't get knocked out. Did he get knocked out in that
Submission.
Yeah, but I hope I want Kevin to get back on the winning track. He's not going to beat Gregor. If Gregor gets his arms around him, then it's like that's the fight.
If
I didn't, you know what? I forgot that this is the card that Corey Anderson gets sacrificed.
Well, have you seen Johnny Walker hit bags after his shoulder surgery?
No.
The hand's a little slow.
Is it?
Yeah. That shoulder injury messed him up. Now, I agree with you. Johnny Walker is going to kill Corey Anderson in the ring.
Yeah.
That's actually a fight that I want to see. That he's huge.
Freaking monster.
Yeah. He's huge. That's actually that's the fight that I'm sad that I can't actually watch because it's on ESPN2. And I'll probably be driving when that fight's on.
Yeah. I'll record it for you.
Yeah, okay. All right. We're going to do that. Yeah.
It's gonna be a great fight card, man.
It's going to be a really good card. It's really stacked. The only one that's going to beat this card out coming up is 245. That's 245. Did you hear the unfortunate news about Walt Harris?
No.
His stepdaughter.
They found her?
No, they haven't found her yet. He's out of his fight against Overeem because it's really sad.
Yeah.
So she went missing. Stefan Struve is back on that card. Hilarious against Ben Rothwell. Yeah, incredibly sad. Where down in Alabama, maybe. Yeah, they found her wrecked car. Oh, that CRV. Yeah. So really sad news there. So the news recently was Walt Harris pulled out of that fight. So that's like an.
Oh man, it's getting serious, huh?
Yeah. Yep. It's getting real serious. I hate to bring it down right before the end of the show, but I did kind of want to note that there's
young too, right?
17.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Prayers to his family.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot.
Walt Harris he's actually, when I look at his career though, not to make I'm not trying to make an insensitive segue or anything like that, but I think this a lot of people overlook him in fights that he's in. He's actually a really good fighter. I think he's got a nice
He lost to Mark Godbeer.
Yeah, but he's got sick, nasty power and good
Does
boxing, dude. Yeah, for the heavyweight division, I'm telling you, the skill gap is such as like, his combos are to the point where people are like, oh,
like. He lost his first 3 fights in the UFC. 1-1, lost.
Oh, man. NBC News is reporting on this.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't want to get into it because I don't like to speculate about this kind of stuff. But yeah.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I literally just got over saying I don't like to speculate about this kind of stuff. It's too sad. It really is. Yeah. So I hate to end it on that. That might be where we end it.
That's where we end it. But if you're a praying person, be praying for Walt Harris and his family.
Yeah, it's really sad. She's been gone a while.
It's like 2 weeks now.
It's a week or 2 weeks, yeah.
Oh man.
Incredibly sad.
Well, it's been another talking to
with a dad.
And our hearts go out to Walt and his family, and Zach's gonna go get it in. And so what are you doing? You playing 6?
It looks like they found someone, but I'm gonna leave a message and say, hey, if you need one.
Hey guys,
yeah.
I'm around.
So
we'll catch you guys tomorrow. This one will be up when do you think, Zach?
Midday tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna start the upload when I have a thing to do in the morning. So I'll start the upload then.
Woo! Making moves like Shroud over.
Yeah, making a move or two. So this will be uploaded then. 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock. But obviously,
are we gonna do a show about that? Exiting thoughts on exiting.
We might, but I'm gonna have to be gone first.
Yeah.
You might also have to be gone first. So no, we'll bring that up. Maybe on next week's episode we'll talk about that once it's slightly more solidified.
How to exit well.
No, I know how to exit well. I just burn every bridge on the way out. I crap on the floor. So that is all for us in this episode of Talking with a Dad. Thanks, PlayStation, for sending us those PlayStations. Next week we blow them up.
You're not getting those samples back.
No, they're getting blown up. Look forward to that video sometime during the week.